Is.
Well, what then? Who's gonna buy Prime?
Bro,
That's the only thing Logan Paul seems to be caring about, and that is the brand Prime. If you legit would let Logan Paul choose between his own brother and his brand, I definitely think he would be choosing Prime. Let's be real here. What's up, dudes? Welcome back by a new video. Hope you have a wonderful day. So today I want to talk about something I found pretty interesting. It's involving Logan Paul and Jake Paul, and basically Logan Paul is choosing KSI over Jake Paul. I've talked about the relationship between Jake Paul and Logan Paul before, and it's pretty toxic, honestly. Logan always seems to be jealous about what Jake is doing, and he's never giving him a credit and this and that. And obviously the relationship between KSI and Logan Paul is kind of weird because KSI and Jake Paul, well, let's say they're not the biggest friends. And let's go into the clip.
That KSI speed fight, dude, that was planned at the exact same time as your car.
did that happen?
Yeah.
They actually did it?
Yeah.
I wouldn't even call the KSI speed fight a fight. Obviously KSI is going to be winning. KSI is much bigger than Speed. Like, Speed is like a skinny guy. KSI is obviously a ripped, much taller. So I didn't really think it was a fair fight. I just think Speed wanted to be joking around with KSI. I really didn't see it as like a real fight. Let's be real here.
At the exact same time as your car, do you think that was pure coincidence?
Absolutely not. Obviously not.
He also wasn't super impressed with your knockout.
Of course, yeah. I mean, he does everything he can to discredit me.
Maybe it's just your boy, but KSI definitely seems to be the jealous type, especially when I watched that entire video where he was still butthurt about the fight with Tommy, and that was months ago, and he was like, it ruined my life, I'm so depressed about it, it's not fair. Legit, the wildest part in that video was when KSI legit asked his own young audience to be harassing Tommy and telling Tommy that KSI won the fight, which is just not a good look at all. He should just have accepted that he lost the fight, which would make him look much better, but instead of that he was crying and complaining and even asking his young audience to be harassing Tommy, which just doesn't make him look good at all. Let's be real here. That's like the worst thing you can do in a situation like that. Not only that, he was going after the personal life of Tommy. That video itself got so many dislikes, and all the comments were like saying, KSI, you should not be saying this, KSI, just accept you're losing. His own fans were essentially turning against him, which is a rad thing, and he never apologized for that, and I don't think he feels like he's in the wrong for legit harassing him and asking his own audience to do that, which is against the YouTube terms, let's remind you.
Wait a second. Okay. Did he say that?
Yeah, there was a clip of him talking after the fight. I could pull it up and get this out.
Bro, you can't not be impressed. Like, come on.
Let me find it.
Yeah, like what more could I have possibly done? Like,
what?
But that's why he's losing fans, though. Is because he is.
Jake is definitely correct in that, especially after the video KSI made going after Tommy and asking his own audience. All the comment sections were legit roasting him and going after him, so I would not be surprised if KSI would legit be losing fans because of the way he's acting after the fight, because it's just not a good look. What I said in the beginning, you can just better accept the loss.
No, like genuinely, he's losing fans. Like, people are like, bro, like,
No, he can't be, bro.
he is.
Well, what then? Who's gonna buy Prime?
Bro,
That's the only thing Logan Paul seems to be caring about, and that is the brand Prime. If you legit would let Logan Paul choose between his own brother and his brand, I definitely think he would be choosing Prime. Let's be real here.
Right, if you have millions of fans and you lose, like, if you're starting to lose some, like, there's still millions of fans, but people are like, yo, this is like inauthentic anymore. You're just trying to like take away from this kid, and like, you're just clearly saying this shit, and you're 30 years old and acting like this with your ego and making everything about discrediting this person. It's like,
I sometimes forget the fact that KSI is already 30, which makes the situation even worse because he is acting so immature for like a 30-year-old man. He cannot handle the fact that he lost against Tommy, which is just saying enough, isn't it? And he definitely hates Jake Paul for some reason. Maybe he's jealous of the relationship between Logan and Jake, who really knows, but I just think the way he's acting is really immature for his age.
like, all right, dude, you know, grow up. It really, I feel bad for him. I genuinely, from the bottom of my heart, like, not saying it in a talking shit way, I feel bad for him. I think he's a sorry, miserable, insecure, unhappy person.
He's not.
I think he is deep down, and you know.
The Jake Paul is saying all the type of stuff. Logan tries to defend him with saying he's not, which is just a bad look. You always should stand with your own brother instead of a friend. And I find the relationship between Jake and Logan pretty weird, but the relationship between KSI and Logan is even worse, because you never know if that's like a legit friendship or they're legit doing it just because they want to promote the brand. And obviously they're both pretty big figures, so I guess the combination of them both, you know, gets them a lot of money.
Context here.
Shocked? No. Like, we all know that Jake just looks for super easy fights, and he fought a cab driver this time. So yeah, it is what it is. I don't really care about him. I didn't even know he was fine. I didn't even know he was fine at the same time as me. So yeah, am I shocked?
I truly believe there's nobody that is believing the things KSI is saying there. One, KSI 100% knows that Jake Paul had a fight. I promise you he knows. And second of all, he definitely cares, because he just keeps talking about Jake Paul, going after him again and again. That is not something a person that truly doesn't care would do. A person that truly doesn't care wouldn't be talking about it, but instead of that, he just keeps talking about Jake Paul and saying that he's bad and awful, and you know, he thinks he's much better. But I definitely think if KSI and Jake Paul are going to fight, Jake Paul is definitely going to be winning. Jake Paul has fought much better boxers, and I think he's just the better boxer overall.
I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I don't care about influencer boxing anymore. I am only invested in your rise. I personally believe that influencer boxing has seen its day.
I don't think what Mike is saying is necessarily true. I don't think influencer boxing is dead. I just don't think there are interesting fights at the moment, but there are rumors about a fight between Logan and Tristan, and Jake against Andrew, the Paul brothers against the Tate brothers. That would be absolutely massive, and I don't think influencer boxing would be dead if they're gonna do that. Imagine how many people want to watch that. A lot of people. Imagine all the Andrew Tate fans. That's a massive fan group, and then you have the Logan Paul fans, which is another massive fan group. A lot of people are gonna watch that, so I don't think necessarily influencer boxing is dead. I just don't think there are any interesting fights at the moment. Just look back at the Dylan Dennis Logan Paul fight. Everyone was talking about that. It was massive. So I think if they would find like an interesting match, I don't think like influencer boxing is dead. I just think there are not many interesting fights.
If the Jake Paul KSI fight were to happen, I would watch that fight. After the knockout this past weekend, are you closer or further away from that fight ever happening?
Further, always further. He's not going to do it, and I've said it since the beginning of time. He wants to talk about everything except actual negotiations to make the fight happen.
It's honestly another fight that is going to be really massive if it ever is going to be happening. Jake Paul versus KSI, because it's building up for such a long time. It is building up since the beginning of influencer boxing. It probably would be like the final of influencer boxing. So if that is going to be happening, that would be massive. I honestly still think Jake Paul is going to be winning. I just think Jake Paul has more experience and he's working much harder. He definitely wants to be like a pro and try everything. And I don't think KSI is doing it the same way, honestly.
And the more serious I take it, the more scared he's gonna get, and that's point blank.
Man.
Period.
I need y'all to fight and then make up.
Again, Logan Paul is saying you need to make up. Instead of choosing the side of Jake Paul, he tries to act neutral, which is just not the thing you should honestly do. You should choose the side of your own damn brother, instead of acting the neutral way and even trying to defend KSI. Boys counted, this is the third time Logan Paul defends KSI in front of Jake Paul. Maybe, you know, Logan and Jake Paul are not that close. If you look into it a little bit deeper, the relationship is definitely a little bit weird and toxic, honestly. And it is definitely coming from Logan Paul more than Jake Paul, especially the moment when he was trying to get like a prime bottle into an event of Jake Paul, but obviously like the rival brand was there, so it was a really stupid thing to be even asking in the first place, but Logan Paul got all angry about that. So I just feel like Logan Paul was more interested in himself and the brand than his own brother. I just really get that vibe, honestly. I don't think Logan and Jake have a really close relationship. Obviously we don't know what's going on behind behind the scenes, maybe they are really close, but looking at all the interviews and when they're together, it really doesn't seem like they're close brothers. Having said all of that, what are your thoughts about this entire situation? Do you think it's okay for Logan Paul to be defending KSI in front of Jake Paul instead of supporting his own brother? Leave it in the comment section. Maybe some people are going to be saying you not always need to be defending your own brother, but still, I feel in a situation like this, you definitely should be supporting your brother instead of like a friend you know for a couple of years. Maybe I'm just a weirdo for saying that. This is just how I see it, but leave your thoughts in the comment section. Subscribe on the channel if you want to get notified for newest videos, and I will see you weirdos in the next one.